I-10 to take on the University.
Hello, my name is Brian Mahoney. I'll be your commentator from Florida State.
Hello everyone, my name is Alex Jenkins and I'm your commentator from the University of North Florida. Beautiful day for rugby today, isn't it?
It is very nice out. I'm very excited to see what both teams have to bring today.
And definitely an opposite of what we saw last year when both teams played each other on this field to conclude the season. If I'm not mistaken, it was declared a forfeit on paper, but North Florida ended up winning the scrimmage 13-10 off of a walk-off kick by Matt Bueller.
Yeah, they did. Really hoping it's better performance here for Florida State than last year. Hopefully they'll bring it. I think they will, but we'll have to see what comes out on the pitch.
Well, what have you seen from the games previously? Obviously, you guys just came back from a bye week, but you guys played South Florida and UCF, if I'm not mistaken, along with one other team.
We played FAU. We played UCF.
What do you know?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
But honestly, this team has they've shown a lot. Every week we have new guys starting on the first side. I think we started around almost 40 guys on the first side so far this year. So this team's got a lot of depth, and they're ready to come here and win because we don't want to repeat it last year.
A lot of depth indeed. As of January 17th, Florida State leads the conference in players sipped with 88. That is enough to fill not one but three sides, and there will be a B game after this. I doubt we're streaming it though. I apologize to those of you who have family on that side. However, depth is definitely a big strength that Florida State has. As for North Florida, it's been an up and down season to say the least. Began against FIU on paper, a 20-0 win as FIU forfeited. However, a 39-0 win during the scrimmage, a hat trick by number 24, Jason Martin. Next week played St. Thomas. Let's just say it didn't go too well, 80-0. And then last week against Eckerd, a 22-3 loss away. I'm sure the Deadbirds are very happy to be back at home in front of their home fans. Granted, Florida State traveled well.
Yes, we have traveled well this year, you know. And last year we traveled to FIU. We also lost that game. But again, I know with the forfeit and we traveled, but we still went there and we got the win. I'm gonna pass the mic to my fellow teammate Amir here. He's gonna take over for a little bit.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How you doing, Amir?
What's your name?
I'm Alec.
Alec, nice to meet you, man. So, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Really looking forward to Florida college rugby.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's a great day. The field is nice. It's not muddy, so we should have some good rugby today.
Really looking forward to it. Any players specifically on the A side in the starting lineup that you think we should keep an eye out for?
Definitely you should keep an eye out for our number 9. His name is Danny Bennett. He's kind of like the quarterback of our offense. He does a nice job of managing everybody, and he knows what he's doing. Like, everything's gonna go through him. So I think that's one person we should look out for. Another person I think might have a good game. Honestly, Ethan Frisch. I'm not sure what number is he. Is he 3? But yeah, watch out for Ethan. He's always a threat. But we should have a good one, honestly.
On North Florida, I'm taking a look at Logan Holman. He is wearing number 6. He had 3 jackals against Eckerd. Really scrappy guy.
Yeah.
And then I'm also taking a look at Patrick Johnson. He is wearing number 1. Big-bodied individual. You know, he likes to do a William Refrigerator Perry kind of deal and just run it up.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun, man.
I'm looking forward to some big man runs today. Tell me a little bit about your number 1 and number 3.
Number 1, number 3. Our number 1 is Connor Simon. Yeah, Connor Simon. He's a very scrappy dude. He loves to get physical. He makes tackles. He likes to get in there. For sure, he's definitely going to take like 2 or 3 people to take him down. And number 3, that might have been Ethan. That might have been Ethan Frisch I was talking about earlier. Yeah, he always a good player for us. Very physical, very athletic for his size. No diss on him, but you know he's definitely getting there and have some havoc today for sure.
I did mention Pat Johnson at number 1. Number 3 today for the North Florida Deadbirds. We're taking a look at Gabriel Gonzalez. Loves to play with trains and Legos. Great guy, though.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, we all like training Legos at one point, right? Shoot. Yeah, no, that's great. Okay, I have the roster here. Okay, bet.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off with the rosters first for the visitors. A little visitor courtesy. Here you go.
Okay, playing number 1, Connor Simon. Number 2, Roman Bishop. Number 3, Ethan Frisch. Number 4, Jack Carpenter. Number 5, Ethan Schaefer. Number 6, Andrew Crouch. Number 7, Nick Kuja. Number 8, Tanner Smith. Number 9, Danny Bennett, our captain. Number 10, Osher Steele. Number 11, Cole Ryan. Number 12, Luke Davis. Number 13, Alon Igosi. Number 14, Francesco Mosey. And number 15, Aiden Winger. And coming off the bench, at number 16, we have Bu Stepper. At number 17, we have David Kraus. At 18, we got Cole Newsom. 19, we have Chris Canty. At 20, Brian Forte. 21, Ben Celestin. 22, Luca Marfella. And number 23, we have Aiden Chakrabarty. Yeah, that's our whole roster for this A side at least.
As the haka ends, it's time to go over the starting lineup for the home team, the North Florida Deadbirds. Number 1, Patrick Johnson. Number 2, Christopher Friend. Number 3, Gabriel Gonzalez. Number 4, Fort Setzer. Number 5, Evan Brown. Number 6, Logan, the forbidden nickname Holman. Number 7, Christopher Newton. Number 8, your captain, Connor Kurak. Number 9, Dylan Nurnberg. Number 10, Eli Reynolds. Number 11, Lee Setzer, who just arrived 5 minutes ago. Number 12, Talon Leonard. Number 13, Des Ford Green, Durag Des. Number 14, Jason Martin. And number 15, Adam Vanderhoff. Coming off the bench will be Caleb Griffin, Liam Buchanan, Lavon McGee, and Eric Leoli. It's time for Florida College Rugby from Duval. Kicking off will be Florida State to North Florida. Florida State will receive to start the second half.
Yeah, sounds good, man. It's about to be a great one for sure. Great weather. Let's go out and get out there, boys.
Just on time, the sideline whispers giving us his score prediction. Only score prediction. He predicts a 34-18 win by Florida State. What do you think of that?
Shoot. I mean, for the viewers' sake, I hope it's a closer game than that. But yeah, I mean, Florida State, we have been playing pretty good. So, I mean, we do have the momentum right now. So I don't doubt it that we won't carry it over. But it's just one of those things. It's like I just hope we just do what we're supposed to do and then we take care of business, score prediction or not.
Florida State meeting the ball as it's kicked, and they will begin the game with possession. Patrick Johnson getting in the game early with a tackle.
Man, these UNF guys, they're really out firing.
Oh, caught! Who is it? Durag Des running no one there to catch him. And Durag Des with an early try. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. And Florida State is arguing that he went out the back.
Man, I don't know what happened in there, but that was just a very great effort by what's his name, Des?
Yep, Durag Des Ford Green, his first of the season, and it looks like the sir is going to award the try. I think the problem with the posts is because there's a support beam in the back, the posts are in the back of the try zone, so you got to be careful to not go too far past that. And I think Florida State was arguing that he went past it, but the sir is going to award the try to North Florida, and just like that, the Deadbirds up early.
Yeah, that's actually a very good play by Durag Des. I'll give him to him that. He picked that play
is
off
very
perfectly.
heads up.
Yeah, no, I mean, Florida State, we just had a terrible movement. The ball was on the floor, and then instead of, I feel like we should have just took it into contact. We try to offload it, and make terrible passes. That's what happens. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. They're going to take advantage of that every time.
Adam Vanderhoff looking to kick the points after. 5-0 to score currently for North Florida.
Should I put this on me?
Yeah, just do that. Vanderhoff, the kick is up, and it is no good. No flag, no good. 5-0 to score for North Florida. A quick start, and honestly, that is something the coaches have been emphasizing, to get into, at minimum, the opposing 22 as fast as possible to set the tone for the game. And I think that sets a pretty big tone, and Florida State's now going to have to crawl back and respond quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you are absolutely right about that. This game of rugby is all about momentum, and feel like whoever can get it first will really likely just end up being victorious today. And Luke Davis kicks it off for Florida State, and Florida State's got it back.
Florida State meeting the ball very quickly. The ball comes out of the ruck, and it's bobbled, and the Sir is going to call it a knock-on. I love what Florida State is doing. It reminds me so much of St. Thomas. St. Thomas, they kick it, though, mostly to their wings and have them meet the ball as it comes down. Florida State, they're kicking it to their forwards and having them meet it. And it looks like we have an injured Seminole on the ground. We'll be right back.
Are we off? Are we on the air? Yeah, that is Ethan Schaefer being looked at right now. Definitely a very important player for us. Hopefully he's all right and he doesn't have any serious injuries.
You never wish it on anybody. Rugby is a very physical sport.
Absolutely.
And honestly, if you're not putting in the work in the gym outside of practice, you're really putting yourself at risk of having this happen.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know that Ethan lists for sure. I think it might have been something else. Maybe probably just winning the tackle awkwardly, but hopefully he's okay.
Hope so. First scrum of the game is going to go to North Florida off the knock-on. Crouch bind set by the Sir, Mr. Bruce Swallow, who did last year's game as well. Scrum won by North Florida, who had very dominant scrums last week against Eckerd. Oh, and it's bobbled again. Oh, but the Sir's going to say it went backwards. Jason Martin taking it just inside Florida State territory.
And that was, I guess it went backwards.
Patrick Johnson moving his feet. North Florida descended down the line, a quick switch. And it goes backward, and it's going to be bobbled and then picked up by Lee Setzer. Setzer trying to ensure he doesn't go out of bounds and is finally brought down by Florida State's number 6. Good push by what looked like Eli Reynolds. Excuse me, Connor Kurak. Wide pass. Martin wearing number 24 in absence of 14, which is missing. And a little bit of chippiness to begin this game already.
And what is that, out of bounds?
There looks like a knock-on against North Florida, and we'll see the second scrum of the game.
Sounds good. Yeah, I honestly, UNF, they're really moving the ball actually kind of well. I feel like, as a good rugby program, trying to get the ball off the ground is the best way to keep your success. And they are moving it. I cannot lie. So,
well, we'll see how Florida State does on their first awarded scrum of the game. North Florida stole a couple last week against Eckerd. We'll see if they can do the same here. They will not. Oh, and the scrum collapses, and it's picked up by the scrummy Dylan Nurnberg. What do you call that? And it looks like the Sir's going to allow North Florida to keep it.
What is?
Direct pickup by number 1, Patrick Johnson.
It's a good tackle by Canny right there.
The 10, Reynolds looking for the hole, and we will see a delayed penalty against Florida State.
Yeah, they got an advantage right now.
Evan Brown looking for his first carry, brings one down.
And I think that's one thing that UNF, they like to do. They like to loop around and come around that weak side. Florida State, they need to make sure they watch out for that.
And we will hear the whistle. Ball didn't advance too much, and we will see what the penalty is. And it looks like the scrummy Dylan Nurnberg is looking to kick it out of bounds for the first line out of the game. 5-0 the score in favor of North Florida. Kick is up. Will it go out? Yes, it will.
Yeah, man, those lifting penalties, it's very tempting to lift something up like that in rugby, man. Just, they got to be more disciplined out there. Those penalties can add up and cost us in the long run.
I've definitely seen it before where those lifting penalties have resulted in red cards for WWE takedowns.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
North Florida struggled with the lineouts last week against Eckerd. We'll see what they can do here, and they'll win it.
It's a good one.
I got to admit, you know, Ford Setzer, he looks like a big guy, but I guess he's very easy to lift. Jason Martin running sideways, passes it to Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff, one man to beat. Vanderhoff looking for the pass to Lee. Setzer goes backward, picked up by Ford Green, and we will hear a whistle, and the sir's going to say it was a knock-on.
Yeah.
And it looks like a little bit of chippiness.
Yeah, a knock on by UNF.
Hey, good stuff, Birds. Good enough. Let's go forward.
You got to understand something. As much as people don't think of this game as a rivalry, I personally think this is a rivalry. This is kind of like a scrum of I-10 of sorts. Both teams, you know, this is the closest team for Florida State in terms on the road. North Florida obviously has a little bit of history with this team. Would you consider this a rivalry game?
Oh, absolutely. This is a game that we always been kind of considered like a trap game for us. Like, I think historically UNF has beaten us a lot of times when we have some great seasons. And we don't take this seriously, they could really
Big
do
push
something.
by Florida State, and they're going to win it. And North Florida may have stolen it, but we're going to hear a whistle and a penalty against UNF. And, oh, quick tap, Florida State.
That's Ethan Frisch right there, the man I was talking about.
And it looks like Frisch may run this all the way in. And a last-minute tackle by Vanderhoff. North Florida trying to jackal it.
And it looks like they are doing pick and goes at the goal line. That was a very good quick tap play by Aiden Wingert. Very, very good decision by him.
North Florida backed up to their try line. Florida State looking to punch it in. Trying to get it wide to exploit it.
Tanner Smith right there with the try. That was a great effort by Florida State. Great ball movement.
North Florida conceded a try last week off of almost a similar play. Florida State with a couple pick and goes, trying to push the defense in. And then just when you think, oh, they're going to do it again, give it a short pass, look for the hole. In this case, the hole wasn't there, but the Florida State player just did a couple steps. Next thing you know, reached his arm out. That's 5 on the board for the Seminoles.
Absolutely. It's one of those things that we always work on every practice. We run the pick and goes when we're in close to the try zone. We try to set the defense in, and then, you know, when we find a hole, we pass it out and try and take advantage, and we're able to work it. And Cole Ryan's kicking an extra point, and it will be good.
7-5 the score. Florida State takes their first lead of the game, and we'll get the ball back.
Absolutely. We got a close scoring game already, huh?
Very competitive.
Absolutely.
7-5 the score, the official time with the Sir on the field.
Oh, man. Shoot, a chair would be nice, I can't lie.
Reynolds with the kick. Oh, and it's, look at that. Number 8, Connor Kurak with the hit and caught by Christopher Friend, and we'll hear a whistle.
What is that? Oh, penalty awarded to Florida State.
Looked like a potential shepherd. Christopher Friend went behind everybody and then some.
Was that knock on? I'm pretty sure, maybe.
Well, regardless, it's going to be a scrum for Florida State.
Right about that.
Gotta love the scrums.
Yeah, man. Scrums are something I don't personally participate in myself, but I know they could really change them.
Hey, I used to play hooker. They're great.
Yeah,
Pretty even so far, but Florida State's going to win it.
it's a great scrum right there. Ooh.
A possible drop by Florida State, but North Florida's going to get right on top of it, and we're going to see if the sir's going to award them advantage. He will.
Yeah, you guys suck.
Yeah, preach.
Part of the reason I love the field here at North Florida is that, you know, the cars and the trucks, they're right here. So you could just pull on up and, you know, act like it's a college baseball game and just hang out in your truck.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I not really could really do at our facility. Our facility is more like a big open compound with a lot of fields. So, but yeah, this is a very unique stadium for sure.
The scrum being put in by North Florida's 9, Dylon Nuremberg. In 5 years, he hopes to be coaching.
Really?
I can definitely see it. He's a smart guy. He's been playing rugby for a long time. North Florida wins it. Ford Green, Durag Dez brings it to the 10. There's definitely some guys that you see that they have been playing rugby for a very long time, but you don't really see them. Oh, and an attempted pitch by Evan Brown gets intercepted by Florida State.
It looks like Florida State got the ball back already.
Potential offload for the Seminoles. And North Florida is going to drag him out of bounds, and we will see a line out.
And that was Francesco who got dragged down out of bounds over there. You gotta be really careful playing wing over there. You gotta make sure you don't go too far outside where you can be tackled out of bounds.
The Sir bringing in both captains already. I heard a couple extra whistles in there. Maybe someone chirping again.
Yeah, it's a very intense game for sure. This is definitely a game where I don't expect UNF to sit there and lie out for Florida State to do whatever they want. I mean, Florida State is on the hot streak right now, but even then, I'm expecting UNF to not let us just do what we please.
But you still have to be careful, and honestly, I heard some of the players saying, look, let's not talk back, let's just have a good game of rugby.
Absolutely. That's one of those things I always try not to do is talk back to the ref, because the more you talk back, then you might make him a little angry, and he might not, on the controversial calls, he might go against you. So.
Speaking of calls, not straight called against North Florida. We will see a scrum for Florida State.
All right.
Or excuse me, it's a North Florida scrum.
Yeah.
Can you wave?
Here comes the hit. Pretty even scrum. But North Florida will get it back.
And the ball's knocked out.
Vanderhoff tried to pass it. It did go backward, but he got hit as he did. Lee Setzer ended up being the one to come down with it. Logan Holman.
Ooh, what a hit by a line.
A big hit on Nuremberg, but I love how Nuremberg, he loves contact for a 9, and he's just laughing it off.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where you got to expect playing 9 for sure, that contact.
Not releasing.
Oh.
Yeah. No one was there for North Florida. Florida State.
Canning with a catch, that's a good one. Puts underneath for Connor Simon.
Looked like Arthur Barbosa had some trouble getting away. North Florida shoves him out of bounds. That's the second time so far, and we will see another UNF line out.
Yeah, man, it's them sidelines, man. They eat you up if you're not paying attention, man. But before that, I mean, Florida State just taking advantage of the penalty. They were trying to go quick, and I do respect it. I mean, try to catch him lacking, but you still gotta make sure you watch from the sidelines.
Looked like Florida State's number 2 was trying to hear in on the conversation and maybe get a little glimpse of what play was going to get thrown here. It's not going to work, though. North Florida wins it on the second one. Christopher Newton running sideways, but secures it.
You scared?
Uh-oh.
It looked like it bounced off the hands of Martin. But North Florida's going to keep it.
Ooh, what a hit right there.
That was such a big hit, the birds flew away. Here comes the kick by the 10, and it'll go out of bounds.
Yeah, definitely a smart idea for UNF. When you're backed up right there, you don't got a lot of room to do anything, honestly. So it's a great idea for them to kick it out. How am I doing, man? Now, it looks like there's a line out for Florida State. Yeah.
Yep, Florida State line out, and it's stolen by North Florida. The scrum's already looking better from last week. It was stolen by number 4, Fort Setzer, a senior business management major who loves fishing and hunting. And here comes his brother Lee with a pretty good run, secured by
I'm commentating, man.
number 24, Martin.
Oh.
Ball comes loose, Florida State has it.
And another turnover by UNF. Let's see if Florida State could capitalize off the turnover.
Looking for a kick, but it's blocked off of someone's shin. And instead, they're going to lose yardage here. At least it's better than losing possession.
That's true.
Here comes the kick. And will this one go out of bounds? Stays in before going out. Last year was a very scrappy defensive affair. This year, not to as much of a degree, but we're still seeing elements of it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely remember because I did play in that game last year, so that game was very physical. Right now, it's just, I don't know, it just kind of seemed just very unorganized on both sides. Let's see which side can really clean it up first.
Here comes the line out, won by North Florida again, doing great on these set pieces. The pass, Ford Green to Lee Setzer, back to Durag Dez, looking for the hole, trying to pass it, it bounces around and then goes backwards, and caught by the scrummy Nuremberg. Patrick Johnson.
It's a good tackle by Luke Davis.
And we will hear a whistle. And it will be a penalty against Florida State. Nuremberg looking to kick it out. Here comes the ball. There was a baby nearby and everyone was yelling, "Watch out for the baby" on the ball.
Oh yeah, that one is something you gotta do for sure. Man, all these penalties, man. I wonder how many will end up in this game.
Sometimes it's just one of those games. Florida State, their first stolen line out of the game. Oh, and it gets bobbled, and we will hear a whistle. Good job by Christopher Newton, the 7, for getting there. Just in case the sir didn't see it, I think he would have had a chance to jackal it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Florida State, they were definitely caught off guard by the knock on, and seemed like nobody was really there to rug. We need to make sure we get on top of those.
Noticing that for both teams, not a lot of support, even on the try by Durag Dez. He was there alone.
Yeah, running alone in rugby is not good. Make sure you want to support your teammates when they run in.
Scrum won by North Florida, taken by the 10 Reynolds. North Florida now inside the Florida State 10, just outside the 22. The pod to Kurak.
The ball comes out, and
it's going to be, that's the point of a pod, just to have that support.
Absolutely.
And Patrick Johnson showing that.
And the ball's on the ground. It's very wobbly.
Vanderhoff to Newton, to Lee Setzer. North Florida has had a good job so far getting possession. It's just finding the holes or just the matchups to get it far. And I honestly think that was part of the reason they lost last week.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it. I mean, I wasn't watching the game last week, but that's just a recipe for disaster when it comes to rugby. You got to be able to take advantage of them holes where the defense is at its weakest point. And it looks like FSU stole the ball, and it's gonna be a box kick by Danny Bennett.
Caught by number 15, Vanderhoff. Brings it back to midfield. The skip to Newton, who comes down with it secured. Barbosa running alone. And Christopher Newton, it looked like Florida State stole it, and now.
And that's now releasing.
Noticing a bunch of pushing and shoving from both teams.
And Alon right there, he's running. Looks like he's gonna score. And that's another try for Florida State. Alon Agosi, man, that man is fast. I mean, probably not as fast as me, but he definitely is a very lethal weapon out there, man. I love that kid.
A few people claiming that the ball was dropped, possibly a knock-on. However, the Sir let it play on. However, North Florida still had to meet the ball there.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter what you think it is, it's about what the Sir says.
It's not even what the Sir says necessarily. It's the same rule. It doesn't matter what sport it is, you play until the whistle.
Absolutely, you're right about that.
And now North Florida sees himself down 12-5, possibly 14-5, dependent on the kick.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, they were arguing about the non-release call, and then Florida State took advantage. They went quick with Danny Bennett, and then they reversed the field, and that's just good rugby. I mean, when you sit there, you're lacking, and you're too busy arguing to serve. Other team, they could take advantage and score, and that's exactly what they did. So, yeah, I really do think that on calls like that in the future, UNF should really just play to the whistle and just make sure they keep that pressure on Florida State.
Kick up and good, 14-5 the score. Both teams, it's already a higher scoring affair than last year. Obviously, we're alluding to that one a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, it's already, the score is higher already now, so at least on Florida State's end. So we're gonna see how this game turns out to end. And
North Florida looking to steal it, and Lee Setzer tried to come down with it, but it'll be a knock-on and a scrum.
Yeah, you know, the ball did not go, it seemed like it didn't really go 10, but either way, the knock-on is definitely gonna be crucial for Florida State. I mean, if I was Florida State, I would really try and take advantage of this penalty right here and really try and come away with this right now, because momentum is everything in a lot of sports, especially rugby.
It has been a game of mistakes leading the score so far, 14-5, the exact time on the field with the Sir. North Florida with a push, 8-man pickup by Florida State.
That's Tanner Smith right there taking the ball out. And that's Canny taking that contact, dragging a couple people with him.
Oh, the ball tried to push it, but unable to get it, and North Florida's going to get the ball. And we'll hear a whistle.
And penalty awarded to UNF.
We will see a scrum.
I'm not really sure what happened. Was that a high tackle? This is what it looked like, at least.
No, it looked like that when he got tackled from behind, possibly tried to dump it off, and we had a forward pass, and then the Sir just let it play on a little bit before calling it, but I'm not 100% sure there either.
Yeah, I mean,
regardless, we will see a North Florida scrum.
Absolutely. Man, a lot of penalties today, huh?
Florida State did an 8-man pickup, and now North Florida responds with their own 8-man pickup.
And that's a tackle by Krause for Florida State.
The 8-man, correct. The sir saying that the player attempting to jackal was off his feet. North Florida sending it down the line for Setzer.
And the ball like it's going backwards.
Martin trying to get away from the tackle, but met by a bunch of guys before finally being brought down. Evan Brown pushing, rumbling, tumbling, looking to get pushed out of bounds, and he does.
Yeah, that's a good play by Florida State, taking advantage of that sideline. He looked like he was running, he was not going down, so Florida State said, if you're not gonna go down, we're just gonna carry you out. And it's gonna be a line out awarded to Florida State. It's good rugby.
Here comes the line out. Florida State will win it.
Ethan Frisch got the hole, and that's there go Luke Davis. Running, got some space. And
the try-saving tackle, once again, number 15, Vanderhoff, and we will hear a whistle. It'll be a penalty.
Not releasing, and be penalty awarded to Florida State. And that's Jack Carpenter with the try. That's great ball movement, going fast off the top it goes, man.
Looked like a tackle that was a little too low for North Florida, and then just good running, a penalty. I was a little surprised at first that they wanted to go for the quick tap and not the points, but I guess they figured they're up by 2 possessions already. Might as well go for the score.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things was like, we always work on every time we're in practice, situation-wise. Like, we're up by 2 scores. We just got to award the penalty, and the defense was lacking. I mean, we just took advantage of it because obviously you have to be 10 meters back in order to make the tackle. So he's already got a 10-meter head start. And on top of that, they're all running back to get back on side. So it's just a not really it's really hard to stop that if you're UNF, if you're too lax and you're not coming back to play defense. And that's Cole Ryan who made the extra point attempt.
Not without a little bit of danger there. Number 10, Reynolds got his hands on it, but it still went through.
Yeah, I mean, well, we call Cole cold-blooded Ryan for a reason last year. Last year during our state championship game, he made the game winner an extra point attempt to help us win to the national championship. And he's just a very good kicker for us, has a good soccer background, and just somebody who I'm glad we have on our team kicking extra points for us.
Florida State looking to add on to their score, 21-5. Here comes the kick. This time goes 10. And it's dropped and almost caught by Kurak, and we'll hear a whistle. It'll be a knock-on against North Florida and a scrum for Florida State.
Yeah, I mean, all these penalties are these kickoffs, man. We'll see what Florida State does with this.
Big push here, boys. Turn it around.
Five. Set.
Denny Bennett putting the ball in play.
Get it out. Get in there.
Big push, scrum collapses, and met almost immediately by Nuremberg. And we will hear a whistle. And it'll be a penalty against North Florida. North Florida with plenty of time to get there as the ball got kicked right as the whistle was blown.
Yeah, I heard Danny Bennett calling for the advantage. I'm trying to let his team know that we basically got a free play and we should really do something with it. And kick wasn't a bad idea, honestly.
Well, speaking of kicks, here we go for the line out. Kick is up, and it's gonna stay. Oh, it almost stayed in for Lee Setzer, but unfortunately just over his hand. Maybe he got a slice of it, I want to say, but it still goes out of bounds anyway.
Yeah, no, that's 15. Aiden Wingard, very good kicker for us. Has a massive leg. If you're not seeing the guard in that touchline, he's going to take advantage of it every time. He's very good at kicking for sure.
Florida State with the line out in great territory just outside their 22. And
Connor Simon with the quick play caught UNF lacking.
second game in a row I've seen that happen. Eckert did it like 2 or 3 times. You can see North Florida, though, on those tackles. They have multiple people going into them and at least 1 or 2 trying to rip the ball away. And that's not a bad idea considering the score and considering the game that this is.
Absolutely. Possession of the ball is very important. And UNF is trying to get the ball back. I respect it. I mean, it's one of those things you want to try and do because you can't score if you don't have the ball. And look at that.
Oh, and the serve goes down. I hope Mr. Swallow is okay.
And that's another try for Florida State. And that looks like it was Roman Bishop. That's what it looks like, at least.
Honestly, just a bunch of quick pick and goes by Florida State. And the serve, Bruce Swallow, just accidentally got a little too close trying to ensure that the play was good. He ends up getting tackled by his feet and put on his behind, but seems like he's okay and still walking around.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, got a long day of rugby ahead of him, so hopefully he's okay.
26-5 the score already in the first half.
Man, already. This is a game where Florida State has we've been talking about intensity all week. And, yeah, that's Cole Ryan making the extra point attempt, and we always talked about just having intensity depending on no matter who we play, and just making sure we do what we got to do, and just only do what we are allowed to do. So it looks like we're doing what we want to do, and it like it's working in our favor right now.
4 players went on the rush for North Florida, but it wouldn't matter. 28-5 the score, and the half isn't even over yet.
Yeah, it's.
Kick is up. North Florida looking to counter again, and Lee Setzer's going to pick this one up. Again, just like the first 10 minutes where you want to get momentum, you also want it in the last 10 minutes.
That's a penalty award to Florida State. He got in there with the jackal. That's a great play.
Oh, and the sir's going to say that there was a little bit of chatting by North Florida.
Yeah, I mean.
Kick is up and in the parking lot. I can confirm that it did not hit a car on the way down.
Yeah.
On the bounce, I don't know. On the way down, it didn't.
Man, gotta really watch out for that talking. The serve is definitely gonna punish you guys.
Florida State getting a little cute, but it works.
And Danny Band takes it himself. He's running. They offload to Tanner Smith.
Ball bounced around, but it looked like it hit a North Florida player, and FSU's gonna get it up.
Oh, they get the ball out to space.
Martin with the tackle on that. For a moment, it looked like a 3-on-0.
Yeah, it did.
We will hear a whistle.
And
Yeah, punch with the face.
And Coach Gomez is telling them to go quick. And looks like we're not.
Looks like they may be going for the points here. I do see a Florida State player holding a tee in his right hand off the bench. They could be going for that. The sir addressing something with both teams. Judging by his hand movement, it appears he's referring to high tackles.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely saw a high tackle on that play on the outside by UNF, and could have been really dangerous.
Oh, and a big tackle by Lee Setzer.
And that's an advantage for Florida State. And Alana Gosey takes it, and looks like he's about to score, and he scores his second try today. What a great effort by him.
I noticed that on the play after the big hit, North Florida had maybe 3 or 4 guys wrapping around trying to get the ball out, which lets them being sucked in and allowing for a hole to open up for Florida State to take advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, that was just either way, whatever happened, Florida State had the advantage, so they had the ball. They were going to get the ball back for sure, and they took advantage of that, of their, I guess, them being sucked in, and they scored another try. That's Alana Gosey's second try today. He's having him a day so far.
Kick is up and just good.
Wow.
35-5 the score. Florida State up by 30.
Yeah, Cole Ryan is what, 4 for 4, 5 for 5 today on extra
He's
point?
Perfect.
That I know that's right. Cold-blooded Ryan, man.
He's the 4, he can't catch.
Man, I do love these heckling fans, man. It's just very entertaining. I don't know if they can pick it up on the mic, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, no, you know, it's Saturday, football season's over. You got to find something to do. Might as well come out and enjoy a little bit of rugby.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Ball doesn't go 10, and look like, you know, the irony is it went through the hands of a North Florida player, got caught by a Florida State player, but we're going to address the not 10 call with the scrum.
Yeah, and it looks like UNF is really talking to their players about the talking, and it's one of those things that's like, it's not something you want to risk, especially when you guys are down this much.
Well, I think a lot of it is just frustration, you know?
Yeah, but even then in frustration, you still got to keep it cool. And if you piss off that sir, your life is going to be a lot harder than it needs to be.
Personally, I've heard it from both sides. I'm hearing it from the fans. It's one of those games. Big push by North Florida, but Florida State's going to get it out.
There you go. Alana Gosey takes the ball. He's running.
Oh!
What an offload by Oster Steele. That's a great play, but that kick gave the ball right back to UNF. Good for them for getting back on the ball and way to get the ball back.
The kick caught by number 10, Eli Reynolds, and we'll hear a whistle and a penalty. That was an insane throw from behind.
Yeah, Oster Steele, he's been playing rugby for a long time. He was very good with this decision making. So I'm not surprised at all with that.
Line out for North Florida from the FSU 10.
Let's see if UNF could take advantage of this line out and do something with it.
As much as that throw was impressive, I gotta say, unless you're like really sure of yourself, I wouldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't attempt something like that.
Line out won by North Florida. Fort Setzer coming down with it.
And they're swinging out right. And
in spite of the score, North Florida is looking a lot better on those lineouts than they did last week, and they're still doing good at the scrums. Logan Holman pushes it inside the 10.
And the ball's on the ground again. And they pitch it, and
Lee Setzer pushes one down, looking to push two down, but he'll take him with him. We'll hear a whistle, and it possibly was a, looked like penalty advantage since the Sur is bringing it back to the spot.
Yeah, them high tackles, man. Number 11, he's for UNF, he's a big dude. You tackle him high, he's gonna make you pay. Despite the score, they're still playing hard, which I do respect.
Quick tap by North Florida. You don't see that too often. They did it a bunch last game.
And look at Canny getting low on that tackle. That's a great form tackle right there.
It looked like the ball may have come out. And it did, and it will be advantage for Florida State as well.
There we go, Florida State taking advantage. So,
ball goes out and over,
right.
but the Sur's going to address the penalty advantage. And it was a little bit of extracurriculars there at the side of the tackle.
Yeah, man, I mean, that's why having an advantage is like very important, because, you know, no matter even if you mess up like that, like the high pass, you can still get the ball back, and it won't be a drive killer. But UNF gotta limit themselves on these penalties if they're trying to keep themselves in this game, for sure.
Well, the game is gonna stop for now as we reach the half. The score 35-5 in favor of Florida State. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. A little halftime entertainment by the kid of one of the alumni. It was a little like less than 1 year old or something like that. Just passing the ball on the field. Really love seeing the youth development in rugby already.
Oh, absolutely. Starting off young. I mean, that's something I wish I would have done, played rugby when I was younger. Probably have a leg up on the competition now, but nonetheless.
Not necessarily. I played in high school. My combined record is 0-12-1.
Oh, well, damn. Well.
We begin the second half. The score 35-5 in favor of Florida State. North Florida kicking it off and tried to challenge it. Goes out of bounds and it looked like it touched the hand of a Florida State player last, and North Florida will get possession.
Yeah, man, it seemed like a lot of possession is really turning off these kickoffs, man.
It's coming off of it's resulting in a lot of set pieces, I should say.
Yeah.
Now, North Florida, they did score relatively early into the game off of something similar to this. Granted, it was a pick 5 by number 13, Durag Dez. And, not straight called against North Florida.
Man, these penalties, man, they're really eating at UNF right now.
Florida State electing to scrum first. That's funny. We get to see the first scrum and the first line out of the first half within the first minute.
Yeah, it's something. It's my boy Alon Agosi, who scored in 2 tries. Say what's up, Alon.
What's going on, guys?
And how do you feel about today's game?
I got hit in the back of the head.
Oh.
So I lost like 5 brain cells at most. So best case scenario, I have like 3 left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that depends. How long have you been playing rugby?
This will be my 3rd year playing rugby. I did play football before.
All right, so all your brain cells are gone.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have like 3. Come on. I'm out here speaking. All right, so it's passed out to Fran. Look at the moves he's putting on. He decides to kick it, and it stays in bounds. We have a great chase by Aiden Chakraborty.
And
picked up by Martin.
Number 24 picks it up.
That's
Jason. Makes a man miss. Makes 2-man miss.
Wow, what a play.
Oh, wow, makes 3-man miss. 4-man. And finally taken down by FSU.
That's Jason Martin, number 24, leads the team in tries with 3, all 3 of which came against Florida International.
I gotta tell you, John, that's a hell of a game by Martin.
Yeah,
What's your name, John?
Alec.
Alec. Yeah, I gotta tell you, Alec. You really nailed that nail on the head.
And
North Florida getting a little too close to the sideline.
Yeah, shoot, I mean.
But stays in bounds is number 7, Christopher Newton.
All right, gentlemen, that's my time.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you for coming along.
Yeah, that's a line right there, man. Had a great game today for sure. They gave him some rest. And,
We'll hear a whistle after the carry by number 5, Evan Brown. It's going to be not releasing against North Florida.
Man, these penalties keep adding up against UNF. I think just need to go over the simple fundamentals, man.
Here comes the kick, stays in bounds. Will it bounce out of bounds? No, it will not, but it'll bounce out the back.
Man, that's a kick that usually Aiden is really good at. He rarely misses those, so that's a little surprising.
Well, it's going to be a scrum for North Florida just outside of their 10. A few of the other games going on today. We, of course, got the cross games as UCF plays a team that I cannot find at this present time. Mm-hmm. Okay, UCF travels to Miami at 1 p.m. Game already started. St. Thomas traveling to Florida International. And, of course, FAU traveling to USF.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good games today for sure.
And the Sideline Whisperer's predicting a couple blowouts. He said that UCF is going to absolutely clobber Miami 67-5, though after Miami lost, I believe, like 85-5 against FAU, I can definitely picture it being even more.
Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of points in rugby. I mean, 80 points in anything is a lot. So
was a big carry by North Florida, but knocked on backward, and Florida State will recover it. And they get shoved out of bounds, though. Try to do it on the same side.
And is that a penalty awarded to Florida State? It is. Man, UNF is, all these penalties are going the other way. It's clearly the score has racked up against them. Like, UNF really needs to find a way to limit these penalties, or if they have any chance of trying to even contend in this game.
Looking at an FSU line out, Florida State doing some trickery in this game, going with the 1 pod, the 2 pod, and even just straight forward.
Wow.
Looked like Fort Setzer had a hand on it, but it wouldn't matter. Florida State.
Luke Davis running. He's running, and he's taking off. Luke Davis trying to find his help, goes back inside. That's a great run.
Great run, but a terrible decision to cut it back inside like that. Personally, he had the outside. All he had to do was just get some speed and then go. And now it's going to be a not releasing penalty against Florida State.
Yeah,
This
shoot,
isn't
man.
football. Those spin moves are not really going to work unless you have like a lot of space.
You are right about that, man. And man, that's really a drive cover for the State. They took advantage of the lineout, had a great play, but even then, just not capitalizing. I mean, this is actually good for UNF. They can actually get something going right here, and I hope they do.
Line out for North Florida. Last one was not straight. Only seen 2 of those today for the Deadbirds. This one just outside of midfield.
Somebody hit somebody.
Man, the fans over here saying somebody hit somebody. I agree.
And it looked like it bounced straight up, but it will be a penalty against Florida State. And it looks like North Florida electing to get a line out again. And honestly, why not? Even though it didn't end up in your possession, you got the penalty in the end, and this is going to be the quickest way to get some room, but it stays in bounds. Florida State with the kick. And who's going to catch it? Looked like number 3 for North Florida.
That's a great tackle by Cole Ryan right there. I'm a much bigger dude, but that's just great form.
Gabriel Gonzalez, the train and Lego man.
And the ball goes backwards.
Ford Green was hit as he caught it, but North Florida's going to maintain possession. Little miscommunication there, ends up in the hands of number 6, Logan.
And a lot of chirping going on. These fans are ooh! And what a massive hit right there.
A massive hit, but it looked like he was a little bit frustrated. I'm kind of surprised that the Sir wasn't going to award a card. Oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
the Sir, I thought the Sir was reaching into his pocket, but it looks like number 8, Connor Kurak, the captain, slow to get up.
Yeah.
And here comes the trainer.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit. He definitely put it on him. That is a great hit. I'm trying to figure out who that is right now. That is,
Kurak wants to stay in. In the meantime, Nuremberg looking for touch to get another line out. And he will get it just as the wind picks up. And a little bit of screaming. I wonder if it hits someone.
hopefully not. Man, intensity, man. This is something that's great in rugby. Man, that was an excellent hit, but might have been a little too high, it seems.
Kurak stays in this game after that hard hit. Really good on him. Strong man.
Yeah, I mean,
probably lost a brain cell or 2, but he's okay.
Yeah. Now, hopefully that UNF player doesn't have anything serious going on.
Looking for the second pod.
And,
Florida State tried to block it, and then no one on North Florida could pick it up until the 9 fell on it. Fort Setzer with the carry. We will hear a whistle.
Coming with a UNF.
Looked like the Florida State player was caught in the rug, not rolling away. Will probably be the call on this one.
Yeah.
Nuremberg looking for touch again.
Now, I really do like UNF constantly going for these lineouts, but looks like it won't leave the field.
Here comes the kick back, caught by number 10 on North Florida.
It's a high pass.
Reynolds, high pass, but still North Florida possession, and they will secure it. That's the second time that a kick that was looking to go in touch was caught by Florida State, and they kicked it right away.
Yeah, that's just something that we always trying to do. Just when we're back in against our own tries, we always want to get that ball out to make sure it's very dangerous. And it looks like
Evan Brown came down, was tackled, and tried to get back up. What he had to do was release the ball and then pick it back up to carry it.
Yep, and that would be a mistake for UNF. Another one. They had a good sequence going right there with the lineouts.
I mean, I can understand it definitely if he had no support, just go and if no one on Florida State was with him. But it looks like both teams are going to convene. Looks like the Sir addressed both captains.
They're probably going to talk about the high tackles, to be honest. It's a lot.
It could be one of anything. We've seen high tackles. We've seen some chirping. There's a lot in this game that they could be conferencing on. And I'm just glad the Sir is maintaining control of this game. The only surprise I have, though, is that we haven't seen a card.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate the Sir not handing out any cards. Like I seem like he really wants us to really play, and I really do like that. But nonetheless, both clubs need to work on whatever they talked about in their huddles.
Kicks like Napoleon Dynamite.
And I don't know what that means, but that's an interesting comment.
That's a reference that's a little too old for me, I'm afraid.
It's the town drunk.
I got you.
Looking at a Florida State line out just between the North Florida 10 and 22. Not straight, but it looks like, or it was straight, and then Florida State just overshot it and caught by the Seminole.
Ooh, what a stiff arm by Cool.
The tackle by number 5, Evan Brown. Something that just happened there that I noticed a lot of teams in the state doing, regardless whether they're great, not great, they picked the ball up and then waited.
Oh.
North Florida didn't tackle, Florida State didn't move, and honestly, when the ball gets lifted out of the ruck, it's live. Go for it.
That's right.
Ball goes out of bounds, and we will, looks like a little confusion. Florida State looking for it to be their line out.
Wow, that is.
And it is.
I'm not sure what happened there, but what a play by Jack Carpenter to make sure he didn't go out and make it out on UNF.
My guess is the ball may have come out, bounced off the body part of a North Florida player, and next thing you know, poof. But that's my guess on the whole thing.
Yep.
Oh, knock on by Florida State. First one we've seen in a while.
And they try to move the ball, and they're in dangerous territory right now.
North Florida 2-on-1. Lee Setzer looking for a little bit of space. Lee Setzer, however, tackled just inside the 22, but he's going to come back up and run a little bit more. Now, the difference there that they allowed Setzer to run it was because he wasn't completely tackled.
Yeah.
Evan Brown running alone. And then brought down. And Florida State trying to jackal, and it will be not releasing against North Florida, and a penalty for Florida State. And it looks like they wanted the quick tap.
Yeah, them quick taps have been working in Florida State's favor all day. I wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to go for it again. But they're going to be smart here, which is, I like. Go for the line out.
Florida State's B side is hanging out down there. I'm surprised that the 10 didn't kick it a little bit harder just to, see if any of them may have caught it.
Yeah, those are my boys I'm playing with after this game, so it's about to be fun. I'm about to, hopefully we catch another win today. Ooh.
35-5, still the score. Mistakes and defense being the primary catalyst of this second half.
Yeah, not a lot of scoring like the first half, but a lot more penalties for sure. So hopefully Florida State takes advantage.
And they do on the line out at least, and it looks like they wanted the maul, or at least the jumper was ready to take the maul, but no one else was. Florida State marching for the first points of the half.
Oh, it looks like number 9 for UNF came in and swatted it down, but it's like it didn't matter.
Stop following him, number 8.
A hole appearing North Florida. Didn't notice it, but it looked like a few players still stayed there. A melee for the ball off the ruck. Who has it? North Florida picks it up, but it looks like it'll be hands in the ruck.
Yeah, another penalty for UNF, man. These penalties are costly. And Jack Carpenter looking to score. Is that his second or third try today? Should have been paying attention more. But I know he's got multiple. That's a great play by Jack Carpenter. Man, what a beast of a run.
First points of the half for Florida State. Honestly, again, another one of those moments where you're like, well, should we go for the points or should we go for the quick tap and the hope of scoring the try? And Florida State, both times that this has happened, said, you know what, we're going for the quick tap and we're going in.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Shoot. I mean, UNF has not been defending the quick taps at all this game. Not
well, they've been
at all.
defending it. The only problem is you're backed up to your goal line, and if you do it just quick enough and the sir lets you go, you have to wait on your goal line and then try and go when you're already trying not to go too far back.
That's right. I mean, there'd be just all day of FSU just been quick tapping it, and right here, it doesn't help the situation that they're on the goal line for UNF, and I'm glad that Florida State took advantage.
Florida State looking to make it 42, and they don't.
Wow, Cole Ryan messed up his perfect streak.
40-5 the score.
And that's one of our ARs over there. That was very.
And he shook his head too. He's like, nope, you didn't get that.
Yeah.
Looks like we'll have a substitution on North Florida. Looks like JC coming into this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little surprised. I mean, I thought, having the RA would be in favor for us a little bit, but as a respectable AR, he's staying very true.
Well, if you're going to be an AR, you got to be at least mostly,
Of course, obviously. Yeah, I'm just saying. It was very close. I thought maybe he would have gave him the leeway. I guess not, but I respect the call, though.
I mean, the thing is, the kick was very high, and you got to consider with the kicks in this one, speaking of kicks, will not go 10, and we'll see a scrum.
Yeah.
But you got to remember with the kicks, even though the posts are only yay high, they supposedly run to the heavens.
Yeah.
So if it's over the top of it, it shouldn't count.
Yeah. So.
Or at least that's me.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that the posts are very short, so it might have been kind of hard for him to judge, but nonetheless, cold-blooded Ryan, man, he's still a great kicker, still good for us in PAT, so he shouldn't be affected by that miss.
Here comes the scrum, and it collapsed on the Florida State side. Looked like a couple of the second rows got their knees on the ground right away. The scrum resulting from the ball not going 10 for Florida State. And it looked like the sir may have addressed something on North Florida as well, but at least from what I saw, there were 2 knees that went down on Florida State in that second row. Here comes the push. It stays even, and Florida State will get it and sends it to their weak side.
And looks like that penalty be awarded to Florida State. UNF had hands in the ruck.
Looked like number 6, Logan Holman, We've seen that a couple times, not just on North Florida, but for Florida State as well. Players with their hands in the rucks and trying to salvage a dead play was Florida State, a knock on, and then boots it out of bounds, looking to make it look like, you know, a design play.
Yeah, Florida State, they try to move fast off them quick times. Maybe it was moving a little too fast.
Only 5 points scored in the second half, 40-5 the score in favor of the Seminoles. And we will see a scrum off of the knock-on, scrum for North Florida.
Yeah, Florida State is looking to shut out UNF this half. I mean, I definitely think it's possible. Like, we're playing good defense, and UNF is just a lot of costly mistakes for them. They really need to clean up.
Well, I've seen costly mistakes for both teams in this game, and personally, it's not about the mistakes you made, it's how you capitalize off those mistakes.
Absolutely. And
it looks like North Florida's gonna look like the ball may have gone to that left side and it was picked up by the lock. And we will hear a whistle, and it looks like diving into the ruck called against Florida State, and North Florida's getting this ball.
Yeah,
Redbirds will kick to touch once again.
Yeah, and you're right. There's been a lot of penalties on both sides for sure. And it seems like Florida State's been capitalizing a little better.
Ball is up, and it goes out of bounds. North Florida, the line out right close to their 10. The Deadbirds spending a lot of time in their own zone in this half.
Let's see what UNF decides to do here. Hopefully they can take advantage of this position, or this line out.
And they almost do.
And Jack Carpenter again with another play.
Throw was straight just over the hand of Fort Setzer though, and Nuremberg decided to go. Oh, and a big push by Holman, but he pushed a man without the ball, and it will be a penalty against the Deadbirds.
Yep, that's very true. You can't push.
But what I saw Nuremberg do, he tried to defend the ball. He didn't dive on it. Personally, if I was him, I would dive on the ball, at least try to secure possession, and the ball that went for touch almost took out a fan.
Yeah, I mean, these fans need to be cautious, man. It's almost like it's either go over the fence or it's gonna hit somebody. Still in between with these lineouts.
You know, that's the funny thing. We haven't seen too many balls, besides the ones that were kicked after tries, go over the fence that much in this game, which is really funny. And it looks like we have a player down on North Florida.
Well, I know in rugby, the play still must go on.
Unless the sir says something, and
Exactly.
It looks like North Florida may be bringing in a sub.
Okay. Hopefully he's okay. I mean, we don't want to see any injuries.
I hope so too, and it looks like Caleb Griffin is going to sub in. He will. Griffin coming into this game for what looks like the 10 Reynolds. North Florida may push a couple guys around as well to adjust for this. Griffin mostly plays the wing position. North Florida with the early jump, and Florida State almost did it uncontested, but North Florida, the number 2, the hooker, Christopher Friend, got his hands on it, and now there's a melee for the ball, but Florida State's going to keep it.
And Friend, what a great move, what a great dumpy. And way to take advantage right there. The defense was lacking, and
I wouldn't say the defense is lacking. I'm just going to say there was a hole available, and he just exploited it.
Absolutely.
Griffin with the tackle on that.
Oh.
And the ball gets dropped, and it'll be a knock-on against Florida State. Florida State's starting to get a little tired.
Yeah, that was Luca Marfella who knocked that ball on. A great
Oh,
play
wait a
for
minute.
us.
Wait a minute. It looked like Florida State was playing advantage.
Oh, that is Great news for Florida State.
A lucky break, if you don't mind me saying. And now they're going to go for the quick tap again. This time, though, North Florida with enough time to prepare. We'll see if they can hang on.
Ooh, what a run by that. Ooh. Nice hard running, and they're starting to run pick and goes in the goal line. And Luke Davis goes in, trying to score a try.
5 points scored in this second half, all by Florida State. One try. 40-5 the score. And it looked like Florida State conceded. And North Florida's going to get this ball.
And looks like
they really have to dig for the ball.
They're about to box kick.
By the 9. Honestly, the right call there. You're backed up to your own zone. You have to get it out of there.
Ooh, what a move by Cope Ryan. And he's not gaining any ground.
Not getting any ground, but looking like he's in a video game or something. And we will hear the whistle, possibly hands in the ruck against North Florida.
Yeah, and also I might have been coming in from the side too.
That could be 1 to 3 hands in the ruck, coming in from the side, off your feet. It could be one of them. It'll be a quick tap once again by Florida State.
That's Jack Carpenter again. He's been having a game today for sure. Already scored 2 tries, I'm pretty sure.
North Florida, Florida State, big push, looking for the try line.
Come on! Put one of them in the hospital! They got health insurance! And daddy's money!
They say they have health insurance. My question is where?
Yeah.
And by who?
And UNF is having some really good goal line defense right now. Can't lie.
North Florida keeping the man up, trying to push him back. And he falls in. And was that a score?
Who was that?
Sounded like a score from the way everyone's reacting, and it will be 5 on the board for Florida State.
Shoot, I absolutely missed who that was. But either way, another score from Florida State. Take advantage of them penalties.
Well, taking advantage of the penalties is one thing, but I think on that he was already over the line, and North Florida was trying to push him out of the try zone. But Florida State just decided, we're going to send all the forwards or half of the forwards, just push him down and let the ball hit the ground with force. And now Florida State goes up 45-5.
I mean, that's great ball movement. I mean, what can I say? There, Cole Ryan on the PAT again.
This is the first kick that is not from the straight line. First one from the corners for either team. Kick is up, and it will be no good. 45-5 will remain the score. The official clock on the field with the sir.
Yeah.
And very soon we will definitely start looking at the sir, Mr. Swallow, for the final whistle.
Yeah. Man, this game is almost over. But let me knock on some wood real quick so I don't jinx my team.
North Florida getting ready for the kick, and with the absence of Reynolds, it looks like Vanderhoff will take the kick off of the kickoff. Let's see if he can take a 10. It's going to be close. And Florida State's going to catch it with a quick tap. Who's going to come down with it? It looks like Florida State.
That's Canty right there with a great ball movement.
That's a heads-up play right there. You're waiting for whether or not the ball goes 10. If it does, you have the sideline, and he just absolutely used it.
Absolutely.
But he had the kick on that too, and he came very close to it not working out. But now they're inside the North Florida 22 once again. And it looked like number 13, Ford Green, looked for another pick 5.
Yeah, I mean, he was shooting up.
The tackle, number 5, Evan Brown. 2 tackles in a row by Brown. Oh, wait, no, that's not Brown down there. It was Holman with the last tackle.
And Ben Celeste is moving quick, and he passed out the front.
Smart move to cut it back inside so North Florida can't push it back.
And what a pass.
Quick
He's
pop.
running.
Drag him out! Yeah!
Touch his hands up, man.
And the touch judge said that he went out of bounds, but the Sir counteracted it.
And what?
You're blind as shit!
Did someone kick it out of bounds?
I couldn't tell.
The Sir's going to say forward pass, but for a moment there it looked like someone chipped it just over the fence.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think it's North Florida ball, but we will definitely see what's going on.
Yeah, that's a very interesting sequence of events, wouldn't you say, Alex?
There's always one of those in every game, just a moment where you're like, well, how did that happen? Who was thinking of that? But if anything, that's great for film.
Yeah, that's why we have it, right?
Well, it will definitely be North Florida ball, and maybe it'll be a goal line dropout.
Yeah. And with these goal line dropouts, you only have to go, what, 5 or 10 or? Not really sure.
Well, here comes the drop kick, goes up, and Martin comes down with it. Jason Martin.
That's a good catch and chase by him. But that's a big run by number 1, but
Patrick Johnson, but no one was, well, there was a man there for North Florida, but he got blown off. Just good support by Florida State, good system to get the jackal.
absolutely.
And, oh no.
That should be a card for sure.
That is
But-
definitely a card, but the Sir's gonna let it play on.
And I look like he scored anyways? No.
I'm not sure, we'll see.
But
You know, it looked like multiple players flipped him up by accident, and he got flipped for sure.
yeah, somebody need to be penalized for that. I mean, that's just
Well,
unacceptable, just
well, I'm
tackle
sh-
right there.
Well, it looked like it may have come off of a different penalty, and now we're going to see another goal line dropout, second one in 5 minutes. Florida State 2-on-2 developing, cutting back inside, big hit by Fort Greene, Durag Dez with the hit.
Yeah, no matter what the score is right now, UNF is still playing pretty hard. Now, you got to respect
And
them as
kicked
an
up by
opponent.
Caleb Griffin, but it's going to be penalty against North Florida. Florida State looking for the quick touch.
And Fronis running in, and they're holding him up.
Shut up!
And it looks like there may be a pen. Uh-oh, Sir looking at his watch.
Give him a spell try!
The Sir really holding off on those cards. Looked like Florida State number 21 looked at the Sir and said, you know, to look at this,
Yeah.
which you really aren't supposed to do.
Yeah, Benz is.
And
that's-
here we go again with another captain's meeting.
Yeah, no, Benz is definitely vocal. He's a scrum half for us for the past couple of years. Won a couple state championships with him. He's very vocal, and he really knows what he's doing. He's been playing since high school, won state championships in his high school. So he really knows like rugby. I'll tell you that. And I'm not saying he's right, but if Ben's is saying something, I believe it for sure.
Well, here comes another quick tap. Florida State looking to add on to their lead.
And they're spinning it out.
They're spinning it out. They're looking for a hole. North Florida, though, doing a good job,
Hey, you suck!
and it will be a knock-on against Florida State. North Florida, though, was doing a good job on that, identifying how many men are on the outside, how many men are on the inside, and who needs to get moved, who needs to get pushed.
Yeah.
And it will reward them with a scrum for the Deadbirds, excuse me.
Yeah, they are really showing a goal line stance right now, and it's some good work. I mean, despite the score, they're doing some great things that they could build off of for sure with the long season.
I'll agree with
coming.
you on that. This is, you know, there are definitely good things North Florida has done, and one of them, I don't want to say it yet in case it doesn't work out. One of them's the scrums. Okay, good. Now I can say it.
And-
Vanderhoff holding it a little too long, but manages to get it off and not caught at the 10. Ball bounces backwards. Vanderhoff trying to tackle his own kick.
As Osher still getting the ball. And Ben's is running by himself. I don't know how he got out of there like that.
But he goes out of bounds, and it'll be a line out for North Florida.
Oh, man.
And a little bit of chirps, but actually I wouldn't even call it chirps, just people thinking, oh, well, the ball didn't go out of bounds, you know, play's still alive. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not something you really want to do. North Florida getting this line out.
Yeah, and I'm assuming the game is about to be over pretty soon.
Not sure, but the correct time, the accurate time, however you want to call it, is on the field with the sir.
Yeah.
I remember I drove Steve's fucking Jeep up to like the roadblock so I could get like reception to Benwood.
Let's see what UNF could do with this.
Going to the second pod and gets it, but not straight.
That's unfortunate for UNF.
Honestly, the problem, some of it is man, but some of it also is the wind is very intermittent right now.
You're right about that. I'm freezing over here. I don't know about you, but
Freezing.
oh yeah, I'm cold right now.
Get in the sun.
Yeah, I low-key should stay in the sun.
Yeah, come on, it's not that cold out.
I know. I'm a little sick. I'm a little sick. Nonetheless, Florida State got the scrum, and they're trying to take advantage of this field position.
A lot of the second half played in the North Florida zone, but only 10 points have come out of it for Florida State. Florida State with the win on the scrum.
Osher takes the ball. He's running by himself. And he offloaded to Luca Marfelli. He gives it to Nick Kuja.
The tackle by Martin meets them there first.
And they try to drag him out of bounds.
And
They're
it looks
holding
like
him
we
up.
may have a maul forming here in North Florida with a big push, and they're going to give the ball to North Florida. Great heads-up awareness. Martin met the ball first, but then North Florida, sensing how close FSU was to the try line, just got their guys in and just started pushing until the sir said, okay, it'll be a scrum for North Florida.
Yeah, that's a great effort for UNF for sure. They're trying to.
Good heads-up play.
Yeah, they're trying to limit the score, and I respect it. I mean, that's definitely something they can build off of coming for this upcoming season. Some great goal line stances right there.
Ball gets put in. Expecting a kick, and was that Martin with the kick? What is Martin doing kicking? Oh, and it's caught by Setzer. Lee Setzer. Jason Martin a little bit out of position, but it ends up benefiting it, maybe not in the end, but at least in that moment as Lee Setzer came to it. Looked like another sub in the game for North Florida, number 17.
Ooh, they put a hit on number 1. What a great defensive effort by them.
17 for North Florida, Liam Buchanan.
Well, they got some
With the
ball movement
seal.
right now.
North Florida looking to at least get one last score, but it looked like it got knocked on. But Florida State's going to pick it up and they'll play advantage. Florida State
I told you he drops it.
dropped the ball, but went backwards, and here comes the kick. Well, this one, it almost went out the backs, but Vanderhoff with the ball, hanging on to it.
Wow. Good
2
effort.
attempted tackles, just missed. And here comes Christopher Newton, and he'll go out of bounds.
UNF tried to take advantage of that kick, but ultimately cannot.
And that will be the game. It may have been a lopsided game, but it was still a fun one. Final score estimated 45-5 for Florida State.
Man, what a complete domination by Florida State. This is
I wouldn't call it a complete one personally. There were still a lot of mistakes, and overall, it was still a fun match.
yeah. I do gotta say UNF did show a lot of great things towards the end. Like them couple goal line stands were very crucial to stopping Florida State's momentum.
Well, next week, North Florida stays at home as they play UCF. Where does FSU go?
FSU, if I remember correctly, we are traveling to, I'm blanking out right now. I am not sure. Hold on, let me get this right. I don't want to say the wrong thing. All right, FSU is going to UF.
Oh, look at that. So UCF coming here and y'all going to your big rival, the University of Florida, next week. In the meantime, thank you everyone for joining us here on Florida College Rugby. This has been Alec Jenkins.
And this is Amir Tariq.
And have a good